Family, this is what we want to deal with. We want to deal with the aspects of time as it relates to these signs and these symbols, right? So we're going to go in. This is part 4. This is another New Black World Order TV Productions. Chopper. And let's speed it up so you can slow it down. So on part 3, we was dealing with time, and we were saying that the 3-dimensional square is a universal symbol for time on this planet, right here in this vicinity. I'm not talking about other parts of this boundless universe. I'm talking about what man has grown accustomed to knowing, right, is the universal symbol for time. So we also went into the segment of time. We know that the word time, things I must experience. T is a 20, I is a 9, M is a 13, E is a 5, bringing us to 47. There are 7 days in a week, and there are 4 weeks in a month. There are 4 seasons in a year, right? So we're getting back to time. This symbol here are 2-dimensional squares, 4 90-degree angles. Remember, there are 4 segments, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are 4 90-degree angles. 4 times 90 is 360, right? So that 3-dimensional square, right? That boom, right? Boom, 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 boom. So this is the symbol in Mecca. This is also the symbol for the New Jerusalem in Revelation chapter 21, right? So there's 12 segments here, right? Bringing us to a 3-dimensional square that has 6 sides, right? 4 times 90 is 360, right? So now we'll multiply 6 times 360, which will give us 2,000, right? 160, right, years, right? So the thing about the New Jerusalem and the Kaaba and Mecca is really about time on this planet below and time above. As it is above, so it is below, right? So what they're talking about is time. These numbers have been attached, right? These numbers have been attached to things on the planet that relate to things above our heads, right? So we know that there's 7 days in a week, right? There are 52 weeks in a year, right? And there's 12 months in a year, and there's 12 segments to this. But we're going to just deal with this. This is a zodiac age, right? And we also know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right, segments in this shape. 4 segments at the top, 4 segments in the corner, 4 segments at the bottom. And this is all talking about cosmology, right? This is all talking about the universal symbol that man uses on the planet for as it is above, so it is below, right? So since there are 6 sides, right? 6 times 360 is 2,160, which is the length, right? Which is one of the lengths or durations of time as it relates to the precessional equinox. From here to here, there's 2,160 years, right? And so this is what we're dealing with, right? This is what we're dealing with, 2160, right? Divided by 6 is 360. 360 divided by 4 is 90. There are 4 90-degree angles in a 2-dimensional square, right? But we're dealing with now what is above has to relate to what's below, right? But that's what they say. That's what they say. But the point becomes, is any of these numbers, right, coinciding to what's in your scripture? There's 12 tribes of Israel. There are 12 tribes of Ishmael, right? There's 12 months in a year. There's 12 numbers on a clock, right? You feel me? Knowledge and wisdom produce an understanding, right? 1, 2, 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6, right? 6 times 360 is 2,160 years. That's a zodiac age, right? Y'all always like to say, what's your zodiac sign? So that's a zodiac age. Zodiac age. Right? Boom. Right? We dealing with time because the black man and the black nation needs to make time, right? We need to be conscious of what the time is and what must be done in such times, right? And the underlying or the undergirding principle in most sciences that we're going to use to change our lives on this planet involves time and mathematics, right? We also dealing with hot, wet, cold, dry, air, fire, water, and matter, right? That's also what we're dealing with and its effect upon person, places, and things as it exposes itself through a duration of time. We're all teaching this codified knowledge in our stories because remember the Bible and the Quran is a system of morality and mathematics and geometry veiled in an allegory. This is also what's being taught in the 5% nation of God's earth. For this symbol right here is the universal symbol of the representation of the supreme mathematics and the supreme alphabets. And I'll go into you with that at another time, right? So let's go back from part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4 that we're talking about the nuances and the modalities of geometry as in its relationship to time as it's been codified in signs and symbols, right? To relate us to time, right? What must be done in this time in which we're living in? We must delve into the knowledge, into the wisdom, and the understanding as it relates to science, mathematics, and morality, right? Are you on your square? Are you thinking outside of the box, right? So what we don't want to understand that there's 12 hours or 12 numbers on a clock, right? And there are 12 zodiac ages. An age, according to them, lasts 2,160 years. 2,160 years divided by 6 is 360. 360 divided by 90 is 4, right? Right? 4 elements in the 4 conditions of those dominant elements, air, fire, water, and matter, right? Hot, cold, wet, and dry, right? And its effects upon places, persons, and things, right? We know that in time, the sun will change the color of a thing. The sun will, right, taking the strength of a soda out that's exposed to the sunlight. We know that certain medications have adverse reactions to certain temperatures, right? So what we're learning is our environment, right, and how to live in our environment. And if we don't know it and we don't know the science of where we live, how we live, and why we live, and why we should live in a certain way, then we're lost. We're outside of time, right? Time is, they say, an illusion. It is a perspective to give us some good orderly direction, right? So this is another New Black World Order TV Productions, right? We're talking about signs, symbols, and time, right? Things I must experience, right? Segments of my life, right? The 12 zodiac ages, the precessional equinoxes are all within this symbol right here, right? A lot of people don't understand that when they're looking at this symbol in the Kaaba, or they're awaiting on this symbol to descend from the heavens above, right? Because it's above is so it is below, right? And this is part 4. And I would love for you to go back to part 1, part 2, and part 3 and see how we arrived at this right here, right? And the next thing is to 12 times this 2,160 years would give us 25,920 years, where they say it takes the sun to travel through the 12 houses of the zodiac, right? It takes the sun to make a complete circumambulation through this vicinity in which we live, through those zodiac signs. It takes, right, the sun to travel through a house 2,160 years, right? So I kind of simplified this, right? I sped it up